Welcome back to a brand new edition of Sports Corner. I'm Dominique Williams, and I know you might be wondering where Felix and Tim are. They'll join me shortly. On today's show, we're covering Super Bowl 50, the firing of Derek Fisher, and the NBA possibly changing a rule. So let's head to the quad and get this play started. Then there were two. The Denver Broncos are the champions of Super Bowl 50. Denver Broncos defense put the stop on the Carolina Panthers and sure did keep Cam Newton from dabbing. The score was 24-10. So you guys, what were your thoughts? Let's start with you, Felix.
Well, first, congratulations to the Denver Broncos. They absolutely manhandled that Carolina offense. It wasn't really close, but Von Miller and those boys got after Cam. It was hard to believe that I thought it was going to be different. The number one defense going in had won 10 of the last 11 Super Bowls, but I had just had a gut feeling that Cam Newton was going to be able to move the ball on those boys, and that just didn't happen. Even when he did have lanes to rush, he couldn't really see them because everybody was being disciplined on that offensive line and stayed in their lanes. Then his teammates let him down. There were a bunch of drops by the receivers that they should have caught, most definitely should have caught, and they sacked Cam Newton 6 times, forced 2 fumbles on him, and it was just, it's a shame that they saved their worst game for the last game.
It was a disappointment, truthfully. Like, at the end of the day, everybody, rooting for Cam. And to be honest with you, this is not even about what happened on the field, because like you said, they got dismantled. The defense was there. Von Miller was always in Cam's face, and if it wasn't Von Miller on the left side, it was DeMarcus Ware on the right. So, but honestly, I feel like maybe the off-the-field antics, maybe the media got to Cam a little bit. I don't know. Maybe it was a little bit too much focus on Cam and not enough focus on the Panthers as a whole. And therefore, Cam coming in, all this pressure on his back, he has the media criticizing him for quote-unquote dabbing every time he scores a touchdown. As he states in his commercial, there's not a Band-Aid for feelings, But at the same time, when you're getting beat down like that on Super Bowl 50, not trying to make it seem like Peyton didn't get blown out in his last Super Bowl appearance, but that kind of has an effect on you mentally. And I feel like going into the fourth quarter, I feel like Cam wasn't even really there. You see when it was I think it was Von Miller again, forced another fumble on him, slapped the ball out of his hand when he was getting ready to throw it. And it looked like he didn't even want to go for the ball.
And that did raise a question, like, why didn't he go for that ball?
And he stated that it was the way how he was positioned, he would have kind of like tweaked his leg trying to dive at it or something like that. But I don't know, because I'm not on the field, but from the viewer's perspective, from my perspective, viewing the game, I felt like he could have, he could have dove on it, he could have took a chance.
But from all the other players that you've heard from the NFL, when it's a fumble, it's the Super Bowl, you do your all to try and make sure that you recover that ball.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what happens.
And therefore, resulting back to the statement that I made earlier, I just feel like Cam was just kind of out of it by the time the fourth quarter hit. And it was sad to see, but at the end of the day, I really hope he bounces back from it. Because at the end of the day, we still dabbing on them folks.
Dab.
It was a shame to see that, though, because even in the fourth quarter, it was still 16-10.
Yes.
And they had the ball with 4.5 minutes left, and I still felt in my heart that Cam Newton was going to make this drive, go down the score, and put them up 17-16, and somehow they were going to pull out this win. And for them to not have been able to pull that out, it's a shame to see.
Hey, at the end of the day, it's set and simple like this. Cam Newton tried to put the S on his chest with 4 minutes left, but Von Miller had the kryptonite, so Superman couldn't, be super.
Wow. Well, like they say, defense win championships.
Yeah, and this will be the last time I ever, as long as I live, pick against the #1 defense going into the Super Bowl.
And that just shows how much an offense sells. Like, as they say, offense sells tickets, defense wins game. And pretty much Cam Newton and the rest of the season with the Carolina Panthers, they sold the viewers their offense, how much they were playing, the points, all these teams they defeated on their way to the Super Bowl. And everybody was on Cam Newton and thought he was going to be Superman, like you say, and pull this win. But as you can see, Denver Broncos had another plan for that. So we head over to Eric for this week's Street Corner.
Welcome to a brand new edition of Street Corner. I'm your host, Eric White, and today we're going to be asking the students of Cookman how do they feel about the post-Super Bowl press conference of Panthers quarterback Cam Newton.
I feel that he did what he had to do to not blow up the situation of him losing. You know, once you lose a game like that and you've been all in the media of winning, the media beat you down to the ground and make you look even worse than what it is. So I feel like he did the best thing that he had to do for his offer, for him not to get as bad. That's it. Right?
I feel that his Super Bowl post conference was very emotional. However, though, I do feel his pain because he's playing on a platform where it was the biggest game in the world, and I feel that just an hour after the game that it just wasn't the time and place for question. I feel that Cam, him leading the team, putting the team on his back, that he didn't come to the Super Bowl prepared to lose, and that just within the post conference that I don't feel like he was wrong for just like walking off the stand or anything. But I do feel that Cam is going to develop later on as a quarterback and be mature where he can, if times come like this where if they have a big loss and stuff where he can condone himself at the interview. But personally though, I just think that Cam just wasn't ready just for the post game interview after a big loss.
Well, this is my personal opinion about the situation. I feel like even before Cam Newton entered the NFL, when he played at Auburn in the national championship game, even when he was in JUCO, he went to the national championship game, and he always won. So I feel like in the Super Bowl when he lost, all the emotions of him like winning in the past and previous, he just wasn't ready for the loss. And the media kind of cracked down on him, Cam Newton the whole year, Cam Newton, Superman, dabbing and all that. Everybody had this big reputation on Cam and expected him to win the Super Bowl. So when he failed to succeed, all that just cracked on him and he felt like he couldn't handle the pressure. So as a player myself, I understand where Cam is coming from. But back to you guys.
Now we know what the students thinks. Tim, let's start with you. How do you feel on that?
Personally, I would have to say he kind of did the right thing in my opinion. And by me saying that, let me explain for a quick second. Basically, okay, you just lost Super Bowl 50. You're so used to being interactive with the media and, like I stated, dabbing on everybody you score on, you feel me? You basically kind of got embarrassed a little bit. It kind of took a shot at your ego. So you're sitting here, all these emotions are riled up in you, and obviously you're abiding by your contract having to talk to the media, and the media are asking you the questions that you really don't want to hear but you know are coming. Therefore, and to keep from saying something that you're gonna regret, he walked off. And Chris Carter stated that in the postgame show after Super Bowl 50, and I couldn't help but agree with him. Because at the end of the day, if you feel like you're gonna say something that's gonna jeopardize your credibility as a man or your career rather, especially in front of the media, with social media these days, everything gets taken out of context. So therefore, he walked away, and in my opinion, he saved himself from making a bad mistake. Like my mother always told me, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. And Cam Newton did that. So I have no problem.
I definitely kind of disagree. I see where you're coming from, where the fact that you don't want to say something that can jeopardize your future or endorsements or anything like that. But the way he left also still jeopardized him because there were kids that watched that and were like, well, I don't know if I really like him like that anymore. Like the way he acted after he lost, it didn't show growth or character. And I feel like he definitely missed an opportunity to show his critics that he's not the guy that they're painting him out to be. He's not this when he's all flashy and he's not this arrogant type of guy that everybody seems to paint him out to be, that he can be humble and he can take losing and he can handle it as an adult. To me, this is more about, yes, you lost Super Bowl 50. Yes, you don't want to talk to the media, but as the face of the franchise, as the face of the NFL, you have to do things that you don't possibly want to do.
But you know, people fail to realize, and I'm gonna bring this to your attention, that he did speak to the media now. It's not like he just got there, said no, and then walked off. People like to show the clip as if he just got there, somebody asked him a question, he said no, somebody asked him another question, he walked off. No, he was there for a little minute. And on top of that, there were people from the Broncos defense literally right next to him answering questions about how they just dismantled the Panthers offense and just demoralized their offense. And he's hearing that while he's also hearing a reporter asking him a smart remark about a game that they know he lost, and they know you could look at him and tell how he feels. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm looking at it from the perspective of Cam, and I feel like he really did nothing wrong at the end of the day. I feel like some people reach a little bit to try and make it seem like he did something wrong, but at the end of the day, he really didn't do anything wrong. He sat there, he answered a few questions, maybe he got a little fed up, but at the end of the day, he didn't react upon it. All he did was just get up and leave. He didn't say a smart remark then leave. He didn't give a nasty stare then leave. He didn't.
Yeah, he actually did. He said, man, I'm done with this, and got up and walked away.
Well, at the end of the day, he didn't say it loud enough for me to hear it.
Yeah.
I didn't even know he said that.
Yeah,
right,
me
but then he
either.
came back and he defended his actions by saying, I'm a sore loser, and if you show me anybody that takes losing well, then I'll show you a loser. But everybody that has lost a championship game has gone out and faced the media and had to answer those questions. So are you trying to tell me Muhammad Ali is a loser? Kobe Bryant's a loser? Tim Duncan's a loser? Like Peyton Manning, Russell Wilson are losers? Like they all had to sit there and answer the questions.
Well, I mean, yeah, they had to sit there and answer the questions.
So, but are you saying they're losers because they answered the questions better than you did? Like,
well, that's a question for Cam.
Yeah.
but I'm just saying, like, I just don't agree that what he said, defending his remarks, I don't think that was the right thing to do after the way you acted after you lost.
Maybe his choice of words wasn't really the most, how should I say, the most reasonable in his defense. But like I stated, at the end of the day, it's not like he's, cursing anybody out. It's not like he's talking crazy about anybody. People are so focused on him jeopardizing himself. Like, let's talk about all the footballs that he's handing to these kids, all the youth programs that he has back in Atlanta, Georgia. I mean, we love to focus on the negative things. We love to focus on, okay, I didn't like how he did this. I didn't like how he did that. But at the end of the day, did he really do anything wrong?
Well, right now we're focusing on the moment, and the moment was you lost Super Bowl 50, so we want to talk about what happened. And even in his post conference, he said they didn't do anything special. Well, getting sacked 6 times and hurried over 20 times, that's not anything special. Like that was the first time you had been sacked that many times in the game. You don't think that was anything special? You don't think they did anything different to try to stop you?
Well, at the end of the day, and I'm gonna leave it at this, I feel as if Cam Newton came into that interview and was just the slightest chipper about anything, it's good to be politically correct, but at the same time, people have emotions. And I know he said there's no Band-Aid for feelings, but at the same time, everybody's human. Let's be honest.
Exactly.
So if he was feeling some type of way and he still went through at least half of the interview or whatever it was, the press conference, then I feel like if he didn't want to be there, he didn't want to be there. It is what it is. We just got to move on. Hopefully he can bounce back from it, because if he doesn't bounce back from it, then that's when it's going to bite him in the butt.
Yeah.
They better not start 0-2 next season.
Yeah, then that's when it's going to be okay, now Cam, we need to get things together. Then that's when it's going to be a problem. Then that's when the media really is going to feast on it. But as of right now, I feel like it's really not that serious. That's just my personal opinion.
As they always say, everybody loves a comeback story. So, Sony, to look forward for next season and see how they do.
Definitely.
All right. When we come back, we'll talk about some NBA.
This is life. I breathe this. I breathe, sleep, eat, I bleed this. Watch me whip. It's Tuesday. Watch me nay nay. It's Tuesday. Now watch me whip, whip,
Wait. Today is not Tuesday News Day. It's Wednesday. We shoot Sports Corner today. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? And why you got these chairs right here?
This is for Sports Corner.
This is everything to us. I make love to this place. This place is life. BCU Campus TV. It's where it's at.
You don't want to help?
Nah, partner.
You can help, man.
It ain't Tuesday.
Welcome back. Now time for some NBA. The New York Knicks fired Derek Fisher this past week. What are some of your thoughts? Tim, let's start with you. Yeah, let's start with you.
Man, it shocked me, man. It really did. Like, it completely shocked me. I wasn't expecting Derek Fisher to get just basically put out. Like, they talked about doing it after the All-Star game. They talked about doing it after the season. Again, like, Derek Fisher did improve the team. At the end of the day, the Knicks got better with Porzingis, with Carmelo Anthony, with basically the surrounding cast that they have of unknown players such. But Galloway is low-key emerging as a lethal player, as a weapon on the court. So, at the end of the day, I felt like Derek Fisher was in the right path, but they went ahead and dropped him. So now it's going to be on the Knicks organization to get a coach that's going to do better like the Cavs did with Tyronn Lue.
Right. Mm-hmm. Well, this fire wasn't as much as a surprise to me as it was for David Blatt, but they were 23-31 at the time of the firing, but they had lost 10 of their last 11 games, and they were 1-9 in their last 10. So it kind of makes sense for the firing, but at the same time, like you said, the only shocking thing was they had already exceeded their win total from all of last season, which was only 17 games, and now they've won 23. But this probably was the worst thing that ever happened to the Los Angeles Lakers. The firing of Derek Fisher from the Knicks was probably the worst thing that happened to the Los Angeles Lakers. And let me explain. The fact that now the Knicks are in the running for a head coach, and the Lakers probably are going to be in the running for a head coach after this season, means that there's going to be a tug of war between the Knicks and the Lakers over Luke Walton.
Oh boy.
Exactly. And that probably is the worst thing that the Lakers probably wanted, because the Lakers felt like they probably had a good shot to get Luke Walton, and now with the mystique of Phil Jackson out there in New York, it could possibly hinder the process of trying to get Luke Walton to take over as their new head coach.
But here's the bright side to it if you're a Lakers fan. Yeah, Luke Walton's up for grabs now with pretty much everybody. Hopefully the Nets can get him, but that's another story. And yes, Kobe Bryant is retiring, but hey, since Derek Fisher is gone, there are rumors going around the NBA that Phil Jackson might jump ship and come back to LA.
I've heard about that, man. I don't know if I want to.
Wow.
Yeah,
Hey,
Look.
anything's possible.
It's the NBA.
A lot of Lakers fans thought they were going to the playoffs in the beginning of this season.
Hey. I wasn't one of them, but hey, it happens.
All right, so the NBA is thinking about changing the hack-a-Shaq rule that allows teams to intentionally foul a player that doesn't shoot free throws well. So what do you guys think about that? Let's start with you, Felix.
Well, I don't think that they should change the rule. If you change the rule, you're literally only helping 3 or 4 players in the league. Like, is it really worth changing the rule for 3 or 4 players in the league when for what reason? They don't want to get fouled? Like, if you don't want to get fouled, work on your free throw shooting. It's that you get paid a lot of money, and that's what Kobe said. Kobe said, you get paid a lot of money to make a free throw. Just make the damn free throw. That's exactly what he said.
And I hear it from Kobe. Shout out to the GOAT. I hear it from Kobe, and that makes a lot of sense. But at the same time, I'm not a fan of the hack-a-Shaq rule, just based on the fact that it prolongs the game. And it's like, come on now, guys. Like, are you getting that desperate? Just play the game. Let's win the conventional way. It doesn't always have to be a loophole, you know?
Well, that's the thing. Nowadays, everything is not just conventional. It's a loophole, or you got the people that use analytics. Everything is trying to find another way to try to win. And this is just a part of the strategy right now. Fouling guys and playing the percentages. Chances are they're going to miss 1 or 2 of the free throws, and you get a chance to come down and get 2 or 3. And at the same time,
It also takes some of the fun away from the game, don't you think, though?
it does, but at the same time, you're not changing the channel when they start doing this.
Oh, shoot.
Right.
Get another game on. But let me get NBA League Pass.
Oh, wow.
But it's been proven that you can improve on your free throw shooting. Tim Duncan, Chris Webber, Karl Malone,
Blake
even
Griffin.
Doc Rivers, Blake Griffin, Wilt Chamberlain, Gary Payton, and even Shaq were all able to improve their free throw percentage by at least 20 percentage points over their careers. So if you really put in the dedication and the hard work over the offseason, you can get better at making your free throws, you guys.
But at the end of the day, all I have to say is this. If there's a guy like Shaq at the line who's going to take 7 seconds to shoot his free throws and they're hack-a-shacking, look, I'm switching the channel. I'm sorry. I'm just going to be one of those viewers that's very stingy with my time. So, you know, the entertainment level drops when you do that. That's all I have to say.
You're funny, Tim. All right. Hey, Tim, do we have a top 5 for the week?
Yes, we do. Let's go ahead and get right to it.
All right.
I don't walk off the set this time.
Right? Or you get fined.
We're gonna fight.
Here in Orlando, Kawhi has 27. Aaron Gordon guards him. Kawhi goes to work, rises for the win. Oh, baby. Oh, Kawhi Leonard. The K stands for cold-blooded. 21 points for Davis. Westbrook. For Westbrook. Just blows by the defender.
It's number 8. Kevin Curry is saving the loose ball here, getting it back, going behind his back to Andre Iguodala and Iggy and Andrew Barbosa for the layup. Unbelievable ball movement by the Warriors there. I believe that's what they call the Jeffrey West. Stephen 35 points and 9.
Buddy jumps out. 4. Fires for the win. Yes! 1.3 left. Buddy Hield nails a 3-ball. He has scored the last 12 points of this Oklahoma comeback.
10 seconds to go. Slow. 5 seconds left. Johnson in a mismatch with Nurkic. Joe Johnson just put Nurkic on his backside. Time expires in the third. Johnson can put that one on the personal highlight reel.
I think that was more than an ankle breaker. That's a body breaker.
No.
Hey, where's his ankles, man?
Can you say ankle support?
Oh my God.
Oh, my God.
Man, that was
His
crazy.
ankles are gone. They're demoralized.
They are.
They disintegrated.
Oh, man, that was terrible.
If I could find more words to start with D to define his ankles, it would be dead.
Rest in peace, right?
That was crazy.
Wow, that was really crazy. Dang, Tim, you really had a good top 5 this week.
Hey, I appreciate it.
Always coming through.
Got to.
Well, that's all we have for today's show. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter. From Felix Reyes Jr. and Timothy White Jr., I'm Dominique Williams. And remember, keep sports in your corner.
Buddy Hield needs to go to the net. We need Buddy. I love Buddy. Buddy to the net.
Somebody's excited.